mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't trying to go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
Peace. Welcome back to another episode of the Urban X Podcast. I'm Malcolm, this is the Black Dot. Thank you guys for joining us.
Peace. Appreciate your presence here.
Yeah.
With us, we never want to take for granted.
Yeah.
The love and respect, the support that we get here.
Yes, man. Thank you for joining us. Last day in March. This is a long month.
Yeah, 31 days. Yep.
It's a long month, right?
It's been a long month.
Tomorrow's the start of Q2, right? So if you got some goals.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Best day to kind of get realigned again, refocused, because we actually are 25% into this year now.
Yes.
Right? And it's time to,
and
make sure.
It's time to stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you're doing, whether it's your diet, whether it's a relationship, whether it's whatever it is, business.
Right.
It's at some point we all got to just look in the mirror and go, you know what, it's me.
Right.
I looked at, my gut the other day. I said, you know what? And I told you, Jim Jones came to me in a vision. That's it. I don't even know Jim Jones. I've never met him. He was like, Doc, come on, you can at least do 10. So I bought my sit-up piece. I need you to hook it up.
Okay.
And I got to get working, man.
All right.
Because wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my goal. So when I put on my little summer sweatsuits, because I'm going to jazz it up, some new glasses come out.
Yo, guys, real quick. So my pops had this one pair of glasses that he's been trying to get like a replacement because they broke. So he's been trying to get them fixed or replaced for like the past 6 years.
They discontinued them. Listen, when I put those glasses on, they had like superpowers, bro. It was something about the perfect shade. It was like some Iron Man stuff. Whenever I wore them, like it just was like I had gay dudes approaching me, bro. Like, yo, like, what's good? And gay dudes don't approach me. I don't give off a gay energy. Gay dudes is like, nah, son, them glasses, yo. I was doing lectures in them glasses, like speaking engagements, and people were like, my Lord, who is this? And then they broke. And so I said, let me just get them fixed. They said they discontinued them. Yeah. And my wife is like a super person. She's so resourceful, she couldn't do it. So they just sitting on my dresser, man.
And then because I forgot all about them. And then he found them again recently. He was like, yo, can you find them? I'm like, bury them, throw them out. It's over.
No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it over to the Urban X Nation.
No, it's over.
I'm going to give them the model of the glasses and say, listen, whoever can find... Just because they stop making them don't mean somebody don't have a pair sitting somewhere. I'm turning over to the Urban X Nation.
In you. That's what you told me.
I just told you that 10 minutes ago that it's all about you.
It's all about you.
I need these glasses, bro. I need these glasses. I just need them, man. You know, it's like having a warm blanket. It's like, you know, you have your little pet peeve thing, man. You know, so it is what it is.
Goodness. Let's do a quick shout out. I see V8 in the building.
Florida on tap in the building.
Richmond ATL in the building. Springfield, Massachusetts. Shouts out to y'all. Who else? Louisville, Kentucky. Shouts out to
Philly
y'all.
in the building.
Compton in the house.
Compton in the building.
Dallas.
Cincinnati's
always here. Miami in the building.
ATL in the
Charlotte,
building.
New Jersey.
Man, the support. DC
Chi-town.
up in here. Okay. Yeah, Long Beach, Pittsburgh. Man, Toledo.
South Cali. Thank you.
Tupelo. I said Toledo. Tupelo, Mississippian, Tallahassee.
Queens.
Man, listen.
Gary, Indiana. Greensboro, North Carolina. Philly. Thank you. We appreciate you guys all the time for joining us.
Yes.
How was your week though?
Week was good, man. We you know, we got some things continuing to come for the people, man. Yeah. And I'm just super duper excited, man, on some of the things we built and some of the things we have coming, man. I got to hang with Noble.
Oh yes.
Clap that up.
Yes.
Me and Noble hung out on Tuesday. He wore me out a little bit.
Yeah, I know he did.
But he gave me a mouthful of ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and head, shoulder, knees, toes.
Yeah.
You know, he gave me all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And he always warms Pampa's heart. I thought he had forgot about me. I'm sensitive. Because your mom's had a couple of visits. His other grandmother had a couple of visits. And, you know, this grandpa thing is serious. This grandparent thing. And I was losing traction because I was painting the house. And he wasn't able to come over, and he said he didn't forget about me. Yeah. He said, Pampa, now you good. So, yeah, we good.
Started showing his ass a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did at the end.
Had to pluck him.
Yeah, at the end, he was like, yo, don't, you know.
Because, yeah, these tools, man, they serious. Like, as soon as he started to get to the point where he could, like, dictate what happens.
Yeah, he once he realized he controls certain things, But listen, the Gracie's Corner.
Told you.
Cartoon was great.
Told you.
We're gonna have to interview them.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to reach out because that's a dad and his 9 or 10-year-old daughter.
Told you.
That's along the line of what we're talking about, a family business. And so I want to know what inspired them and let them know that they're starting to reach far and wide, and they're gonna be somebody I promote, you know, on the show from now on for young parents.
Thank you, James Carey, for the Cash App, bro. I appreciate you. And somebody said that's the only child syndrome, Malcolm. You having another one? Not right now, bro. Not right. But listen. I'm already tired. Like, do y'all want me to continue the show?
Yeah, true. True.
Y'all like me up here? Like, do y'all
make up your mind?
Do you like the show?
Like the show?
Because if that happens, it's not happening.
True that.
Hey.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So today, March 31st, is actually the 3-year anniversary of Nipsey Hussle's untimely demise.
That 3 years went by very fast.
Very fast.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
A lot has transpired since then.
And nothing has transpired. Yeah.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had to admit I didn't know who he was prior to him passing. So I didn't have a connection to his body of work until after. And then I appreciated his activism or raptivism. I appreciated his entrepreneurial spirit. I appreciated his forward vision and how he was trying to run the shop. And I appreciated his music.
Yeah.
And so, and he had a connection to our show because we had left.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Yes.
Right. He had a connection to our show because that was after show 50. We had left.
Yes, it's true.
And we were done. And it wasn't until his passing that kind of put us back in a situation to get after it because so many people had so many different opinions on what was going on. And people wanted to hear what Black Dot had to say.
Yeah.
And me and you talked, and once I got the juices flowing, we came back. Yeah. And the rest is now 3-year history in our favor.
Right.
You know, so we have a light connection, not, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy because since then, what, Kobe passed, COVID, like all these things happen, right? And you just think like these are like major events, like major like events that transpired as a result. But his killer.
Speaking of slap, he smacked that dude backstage at the BET Award.
He did.
Now that's how you smacking it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that was tough. Yeah,
he smacked the nigga like pow.
Yeah, that was tough.
Side note, go ahead, continue.
But yeah, like his killer his trial like still didn't happen. Right?
That's crazy,
right? As much as big as the event was, like his funeral, all of this stuff was.
Yes.
Trial still didn't happen. We still don't know what the hell like really happened. We hear bits and pieces, and even as time goes on, the bits and pieces we're hearing, like nobody cares. It's just like not as a big of a deal anymore.
And then the marathon storefront, is it boarded up? Is it active?
I think they just doing online.
They're doing online now?
But yeah, I don't know.
Did the people who wanted the property, because he was constantly being harassed by the police.
We heard they had a whole task force dedicated to watching his
movements and
store and stuff like that. So yeah, crazy.
So it's just something to think about in terms of what his life meant for those out in LA in particular, and for those who want to be inspired about business. Those who are looking to maybe get out of the gang life. It seems like you're always connected, but maybe elevate yourself beyond just street shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And things of that nature. So we wanted to take the time to recognize Nipsey Hussle, his contributions, and shout him out. I hope his family is well.
Yeah.
But that this trial needs to get on so we can add closure. Right? You would say?
Yeah, facts. I was listening to a lot of his music today, as a matter of fact.
Okay, you had him on the dial. Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
So, and somebody said that last Kandani Austin said they're hoping y'all forget about it. Yeah. I think that's what it is too. There's a lot of moving parts that, as time goes on, as the world is going through these
because
changes.
3 years in social media world is equivalent to 10 years.
Exactly.
That's equivalent to 10 years time. Of you forgetting about the details and them just moving you along,
especially with Kobe's passing, with Corona, with war, you can like these little details that are important to like what the hell happened then, because that was major. In 2019, that was major.
Yes.
And then you look at him now, just like it's easy to kind of just get lost in the shuffle. So
no, true story, man. True story.
Yeah. All right. So rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
All right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So this is big news. Well, according to TMZ, Dame Dash he lost a lawsuit to a film director and producer who claimed that he tried to pass their movie off as his own. So it was a copyright lawsuit, infringement lawsuit. So he has to pay over $800,000 to the director and producers of the movie.
That's a tough one.
That hurts.
The minute you lose in court, Dame is very stern on his business practices. So I don't know what all of the details were, but he lost, and $800,000 is no chump change.
Yeah,
So any other details in regarding this?
So the movie was called Dear Frank, and this lawsuit actually started 3 years ago. And they said that he tried to shop and advertise the movie as his own, despite him being dropped from the project. Now, apparently, his justification was, I used my house, I used some of my equipment, so it is mine just as much as yours. But he got dropped from the project.
Yeah, that's not going to hold any weight. If you're using my cameras to film, but it's your show, unless we have some kind of written agreement, you know what I'm saying, that states I am... Because the paperwork in the court is the only thing that's going to hold any kind of weight. That handshake shit is cool, or just us understanding as gentlemen a level of integrity. That's great until somebody breaks the code.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. A lot of deals used to get done on a handshake. I forget who it was recently. Kevin Hart.
Yes,
he said his manager, the guy he picked up to manage, and who's still his manager. To this day, they didn't do no paperwork.
Yeah.
They did a handshake, but it's 15 years later, and they're still handshaking. So that holds weight. A lot of times you do that handshake stuff, And as soon as a bit of money or a disagreement of any sort comes into play, now you have no leverage. You can't prove anything. And 800,000 is that's no
that's not Trump. No Trump.
that's
change.
no chump change, man. So, but there's all checks and balances. I think Biggs is suing him too.
This is for the reasonable doubt.
I'm not sure. I believe I heard Choke, no joke, shout out Choke, say something in reference to Biggs is suing Dame as well. But Dame probably has a few lawsuits that are going to go in his favor too. This will probably balance itself out in the long run of things. I'm pretty sure there's an appeal process that can take place. And within that appeal process, that can buy you,
stop the bleeding a little bit.
Stop the bleeding a little bit, buy you a little bit of time, so you can figure out. Because that's what Tasha K probably doing.
Yeah, she's on something like, listen, I ain't got it.
I ain't got it. I can't give you what I ain't got. I told you when I go to Mr. Childs and he sent me the $5,000 bill for the fried rice, I'm gonna be like, my nigga,
got it.
I ain't got that, man. Call a triad. 'Cause I just ain't got it.
Yeah.
So let's hope that this all balances out.
But because somebody just in the chat said, like, I'm not shaking hands for anything over $10. I get it. I get that too.
No, I get it. I get
that too. That's what, like, you once you realize, like, especially when you're going into business with something, once you realize the level of just covering your ass you need to do,
right,
with some of these stuff, because some people really try to get you. Some people, we had somebody file a claim against our membership for $5, mind you, but it would have cost us more money if we would have lost. So I'm just like, bro, like, you get what I'm saying? And that's just $5. So imagine if it's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table
now, or
millions of dollars on the table with a deal, and I can really just kind of get you somehow.
And I just gave you the factors. What's money to you or what may not be a lot of money to you may be a lot of money to the counterpart. It could be $2,000, $10,000, and people start breathing down your neck and be like, wait a minute, this is not even a lot of money, But also, I will say this: a lot of the handshakes back in the days was mob handshakes, like, hey.
Oh, I didn't watch the latest episode of Winning Time.
Yes,
I watched the third episode.
Dude, why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why would you skip to 3?
No. I watched.
Oh, okay.
1 to 3.
Okay, gotcha.
No. I didn't just skip. That's dumb. Okay. No, I watched 1 to 3, but like when you was talking about the mob and the influence and a lot of these things that happened.
Yeah. So a lot of that was back then. We don't do it now because we don't trust each other. And I'm not knocking that, because your business has to be held in a certain regards so that there is no problems. Because I heard rumors that the dude who did It's All About the Benjamins. I know somebody who know the dude who did that track, and he don't own none of that track. For reasons I won't mention.
Damn.
But the track was so hot, it was like, you know what? That's mine. What? Dude, don't. Let's not make this, because if Wolf walk in the room on you know who Wolf was to P. Diddy. If Wolf walk in the room, I'm like, that's the masters. Yeah. These are the stems to it. I even did a remix. Yeah. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of underhanded things take place when we start talking industry. How Suge came in on Eazy-E, rumored, alleged.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Well, just saying. You hear so many stories of things that take place, and the industry is dirty. And if you're trying to be clean in a dirty industry,
tough, man.
That's gonna be tough.
Yo, as a matter of fact, there's a movie coming out, because this year is, I think, the 50th anniversary of the Godfather movie, right? There's a movie coming out about the making of the Godfather. It's called The Offer.
Yes.
Right? And they're talking about, like, just how hard it was to get made, from film studios to the actual mob having something to do with the script. Like, one of, like, the big dons in New York City got the script before anybody got it, and in every reference to the word mafia, he scratched out.
Yes.
Cosa Nostra, he scratched out. Like, anything that can loosely be tied, the commission scratched out. Anything that can be tied back to the actual mob, he scratched out. He was like, you're not gonna bring. You could get this movie made. You're just not gonna get the us heat for it.
Yeah, Angeletti. Yeah.
And put my boy in the movie.
Oh
Gianni,
yeah.
Gianni Russo.
This is yeah.
Yeah, the guy who played Carlo, Gianni Russo.
It was real gangster.
Was tied in with real gangsters. Yes.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. So that's how that works.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So what do you think about? Speaking of Winning Time, what do you think about it though?
Oh, I think it's a great series because during that time when Magic and Jerry Buss got together, they started winning. It was winning time. To hear what Jerry Buss had to do, the hoops he had to climb over to keep this franchise afloat, get loans from your ex-wife. That's like me going to your mom's right now, like, look, I'm going to need about $2 million.
Yeah.
What? I need the $2 million.
Yeah.
You know, and it was so many layers to it. But when you take a kid out of Michigan and you put him in front of all of that temptation, now you getting this, and he wasn't turning down nobody. You know what I mean? So, you know, and so it became a story among stories. I'm just sad I got to wait until Sunday. To get the next part.
But you know what's crazy? Because, like, they made it seem like Magic was a fish. Like, yes, he was a fish out of wood in LA, but he was just more of the person he was back in Michigan.
And remember what I always tell you, money will only heighten who you already are. If you're a piece of shit, now you're just a piece of shit with money. If you insecure, now you're insecure with money. If you know, so it really just, if you're an alcoholic, under control, you go to work, now you making millions, now you just an alcoholic who's way out of control. So his sexual behaviors was only magnified when he got the biggest contract in NBA history, basically, at that young age, out of Michigan, called Magic, 6'9" point guard, black man in LA, and your man has got ties to the mansion, and all he do, all Jerry Buss do is knock down shorties. It's a recipe for disaster, and as a result, we have what we have with other things to in play.
Facts. Great series. Yeah, I'm not gonna give it away, but one if you didn't watch it, but it's one scene where he was playing ball like a pickup game. And if that was 2020, he would have got shot. Like it was that bad. I was like, it's no way. It's no way.
Yep.
It's no way. But yeah, y'all should check that out.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So did you guys hear did you guys see the videos of those Disney writers, Disney execs talking about, their what they called literally quote unquote their agenda to get more LGBTQ representation into their shows? Like one woman said, like, oh yeah, it's my agenda because I'm trying to get people in the background to be kissing, I'm trying to get this to happen, and they're trying to get 50% of their characters going forward to be LGBTQ. 50% of their characters.
I saw that. And she clearly used the word agenda.
She said she used the word agenda, yes.
And like, this is what it is. But Disney is a cesspool.
Oh yes, and did you know? I did not know this, guys. Did you know in Florida, it's called the it's called the Reed something where they govern themselves in Florida.
What?
They govern themselves. Yes, that's a whole law that happened in 1967.
You gotta explain that to me.
Oh, y'all don't. Hold on. I want to get it for you. Disney.
Please get that.
Yes, Disney self-governing rights. They're trying to strip that now, as a matter of fact, because Disney, they've been so vocal on the quote-unquote "Don't Say Gay" bill, even though it's not called the "Don't Say Gay" bill.
Right. The
media and everybody flipped it, and that's an agenda right there. The fact
yes.
Right. I saw teachers from Florida saying, "I'm devastated because what if I can't tell my kindergartners that me and my partner went paddleboarding this weekend."
I saw that.
And I was just like, yo, dude, I remember my teachers didn't even want to tell us their first name.
Yeah, let them. I am Mr. So-and-so to you.
Yeah, I am
Mrs. So-and-so.
I saw one of my teachers in Macy's with my mom, and I was stuck because as far as I knew, they lived in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? They didn't tell us nothing about their lives. But this law is called, hold on, I want to get it for you guys. I'm going to put it in the chat as well. So, Hold on. It's called the Reedy Creek Improvement District, right? It was created in 1967 as a law signed by Republican Governor Claude Kirk. It effectively created two municipal-like governments, Bay Creek and Reedy Creek, to regulate a Lake Buena Vista land where Disneyland resort operates. So technically,
so you mean the Disney resort has their own rules and regulations?
Yes.
Okay.
They govern themselves. Like, so now the Governor DeSantis said, like, oh, y'all wanted to come out and y'all oppose what we got, like, the bill I just signed into law. We have to now look into that law to see if we can to see if we want to overturn it or not, because the fact that you guys think you can operate on your own, now we think you should operate under the laws of the state.
Oh, so they got their own little war
they
going
getting
on.
gangster. Oh, it's getting
okay,
nasty.
yeah, but Disney is a cesspool.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? It clearly is. Now, I'm not telling you don't take your children there.
We had an amazing time when we went.
Yeah, we had an amazing time.
But
But my antennas was up. I was watching my children, and but overall, when you understand the energy regarding that, how many people get arrested for child trafficking.
There was 180 people who got arrested for sex trafficking ring, and a couple Disney employees that happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Disney, they keep pumping their chests out. They trying to get all these, they trying to be super inclusive, right? And then somebody came out, it was DeSantis, but somebody went further into it, right? One of the Disney cruises, they stop at some countries that being homosexual is completely illegal. So they're like, yo, wait, y'all operate there, y'all can go there.
Absolutely.
But all of a sudden, what I'm doing is immoral, even though the word gay or straight is nowhere near that bill. Right? They're talking about discussing sexual orientation from kindergarten to third grade. I don't think that's unfair.
I don't think that's unfair, guys. Even if you are gay and that's the lifestyle you live, I don't think that's unfair. You know what I mean? Because actually, you have made a choice, and you didn't make it when you was in third or kindergarten. Don't tell me you knew since then that you was different. Knowing that you're different does not mean knowing that you are of the polar opposite sex. And first of all, like I always say, how do you know what a man feels like if you've never been a man?
Yeah.
So how the fuck would you know?
Oh, so the Biden administration right now, they're going out of their way to try to get surgeries for teens who want to transition like more readily available. But because today is, I think, trans identifying
day or something.
Day, something to that effect.
National Transgender Identification Day or something.
Yeah, visible, something like that, right? But there is a large community of people who transition, like fully transitioned, who regret it later on in life. Right? Because they transitioned before, like they were fully they were fully emotionally mature, fully, mentally mature. So a lot of the times, and this is a book by an Asian woman, I don't have the name of it right now, but she was explaining that a lot of the times when a boy wanted to transition to a woman when he was young, by the time he gets older, he realized, okay, I'm just gay. I don't think I'm a woman. I'm just gay.
Right.
So, but imagine if he would have got the surgery.
Yeah.
Then.
No, absolutely.
You can't go back.
Absolutely. Can't. Ain't no returning.
Right.
Ain't no returning. So again, we have morphed into a multitude of species on this planet.
Yeah, it's bad.
And while some may think that's an advance, we're advancing into just beings, different beings. To me, we're going backwards.
Yeah.
Or it's signifying the end of an era. And this train is on the track. It's already picking up speed. It ain't like, we could throw some trash on the track and slow it. We had our opportunities in the 80s and 90s to slow the train down, and we didn't. We actually added fuel to it by trying to be positive and progressive. And now this thing is where it is. And then I need you to understand this too. Let's get a little metaphysical with it. There is no tomorrow. We create tomorrow today. So in doing that, everything that you see in the news, in the media, back to Hollywood, we're creating it as we go along. Right? So we're the ones who created all of this weird shit. So they need a number of people to buy into it. and the creation process begins.
And-
So the earth, I've heard Rod Hayes say this, the earth is flat, the earth is round, the earth is whatever you want it to be, because all is mental. So we are manifesting this. Now, another thing, just to kind of side note, we saw the Will Smith, I said I wasn't going to mention it and all of that, but a lot of it is not conspiracy theory. A lot of it is just synchronicity. A lot of it is just one world reality superimposing itself on another and bleeding over into the other, and we're seeing all of these synchronicities and going, wow, it's a conspiracy. And a lot of it is not necessarily a conspiracy, but there's a blending of worlds coming in now with different paradigms bleeding over, and the synchronicity from one is connected to the other. So we have a lot going on.
Oh, yes.
And then, the distractions on top of that
Yes.
that are taking place. So it is a lot going on this planet.
Oh my gosh.
But we're creating it as we go along.
Yeah, and like let's go back into the LBGT. They added 2 other ones. It's called 2S for Two Spirit. I don't know what the hell that means.
Whoa.
Oh yes, they call one Two Spirit.
This is a new
Yes.
classification?
Yes. Two Spirit.
T2. Terminator.
Yes.
Okay, T2. All right.
Right. So, and then because I saw a graph on the how many people just like identified with LBG, like with that, depending on like your generation, right? So the 1940s to Gen Z, which is now, and the difference is like astronomical,
Night and day.
right?
Yeah.
So then people were saying like, "Yo, what the hell is happening? Were so many people just scared to come out back then, or is not indoctrination, but is social engineering working?" You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you tell kids that this is what you're feeling, and it's okay, and you praise them for it, what does that do for a kid's brain? They go, "Oh,
Absolutely.
I want that praise." Like, listen.
And then the energy of other people feeling that way
Right.
now has created a vibration that you can latch onto, and you may not necessarily be feeling that way, but because the energy is moving that way, let me join them because I know I feel different. A lot of kids just feel different. They might be X-Men, you know what I mean, with super goddamn powers, but they know they different than most people, and because there is no outlet for them to show their true superhuman powers, they figure I'm just different. And then they lag onto that vibration, and then they begin to follow the codex of that vibration, and it leads them down a path of even further darkness because they wasn't gay. They just, you know what it is.
Yes. So, because somebody asked, Two Spirit, and this is Google. Two Spirit refers to a person who identifies as having both masculine and a feminine spirit, and used by some indigenous people who describe their sexual, gender, and spiritual identity.
Well, that goes to the whole Baphomet.
That's a lot.
See, when you start dealing with Baphomet and all of that, which was androgynous in the sense of spiritual and physical connections, you see them pointing up and down. It's the true essence of when you reach the supreme essence, which was corrupted by Europeans into something else. So, that's what they're talking about. But don't associate that spiritual energy with you elevating spiritual, because we all have a masculine and feminine principle. That's another one of the 7 hermetic principles. It doesn't say male and female. It's masculine and feminine, right? So don't start putting genders, even though gender is another one of the principles, but it ain't connected to that one. So understand that they're always trying to corrupt. And like I said, if this is in the DNA of a people, let's just say, for example, European people, and they are integrated into society where they can't be themselves. So they create underground movements in which they can do what they do. You know what I mean? And they get tired of being there because what they recognize is in every position of power, I recognize the same people that I'm seeing at these exclusive parties, and I see that we have power now. So now let's stop being underground and let's make our overground movement, and whoever want to flow with that, flows with that. And as a result, with the mind control, Hollywood, CIA, you know what I'm saying, Mockingbird, the whole thing, now you have, you know, this kind of energy on the planet. But Earth is a cesspool.
Yes.
I'm waiting for them to announce.
Yes.
I can go to the moon and build there.
So we'll take a quick commercial break. On that note, we'll be right back.
We will be right back.
The names are inspired by men and women that, again, have impacted me, have impacted history. People have done great things, and that's the core of what my business is. I always want to focus and center on Blackness, Black excellence, and the greatness that we've contributed to society. Luxury, Black, inspired.
What we're going to do is visit two past lives, life between lives, 5, 10, and 20 years into the future. Welcome back, y'all. Who wants to share first?
I was in the Ming Dynasty era. I was a man.
I was a crystal healer. They were showing me like picking roots and plants and stuff.
So the first life, I believe I was in Egypt. I was in front of like this tall grass field, and I was just like studying the grass and watching it sway. And I was very big. I was green and I was tall.
You know, with the Lion King, when Simba went on top of the mountain and can oversee everything, I was a deer on a hill or top like that, and I was just like, wow.
I go through another portal, and this time I'm underwater. I'm in my mid-50s. I can breathe underwater. I have pause, and I can glow. I'm bioluminescent. I transition into this other body. I was a man. I was lanky. Had like this best friend that was a bear, and I could talk to animals.
Back.
And we are back.
Thank you guys for joining us.
In the mix, thank you for joining us. And we want to continue our series of speaking to these entrepreneurs who have been doing business with us, who have been displaying their beautiful ways, their hard work, their passion. So we want to bring in Nina.
From Njudawn.
From Njudawn.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And clap that up for Nina. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're good. Thank you for joining us.
I can thank. I've been testing this connection all day because I refuse to show up and shit look crazy.
I know the feeling. So we want to thank you for taking some time out. First of all, we love the products.
Yes,
they smell and feel, and it's amazing. Let's go to the beginning. Why Njudawn, and why do you spell it that way?
Okay, so the name is actually a play on my name. My middle name is Njudawn, so I just made the J silent, but it's also playing homage to Nina Simone. One of my favorite songs is, it's a new dawn, a new day, new life. So that's also my tagline for the business as well.
Got you. So how long have you been in business?
It's been, I would say, about 10 years. So,
oh, wow.
But officially in business, it's been about 5. I started the company because when I moved back to DC, so I was born in DC, raised in DC, and I lived in New York for about 10 years, working and had a short stint in the music industry and also worked in fashion industry. So I'm a natural creative. So moving back to the area when my grandmother was sick, she was diagnosed with cancer, and she was coming to the last day. So I came back to the area, and I just needed something to get my creative juices flowing. She ended up passing away, soon once I came back home. And so the first candle that I created was actually in her honor, which is named Audrey.
Nice.
So that's sort of how it started. It was really born out of just a need to be creative. In this area, I mean, it's changed a lot now, but anyone who knows DC knows it's a government town. It's not a lot of creative activity going on, at least when I came back. So that's how it got started. And I just kept at it as a hobby, and I got good feedback, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So it did take a while for me to get the product to a place where I felt I wanted to put it out,
Have you been doing all this on your own, or do you have help? And what has been the support of just family and friends? Because whenever I launch something, I always like to start with family and friends, just to put a little air up under the movement. So how was that for you, putting these products together?
Yeah, so everything is created by me as far as like the candles. I have candles, linen mist. I think I see the diffuser on the table.
Yes.
I have incense cones as well. So, and it started off with just a candle. And then once I decided that I wanted it to be a business, I just started branching off and including additional add-ons. As far as support, my family, has always supported me, even as far as like the design, everything, including like down to the design. Because I have a design background, it was me. So the logo, I sent it out. Like I have like a group of close friends that I sent it out. I asked for feedback. I sent a couple versions. They gave me the feedback. I wanted to make sure like the color scheme felt good. For me, it's always about the aesthetics.
Yes.
And I know I'm a small business, but I know I tend to be judgmental a little bit. So I wanted my product. I didn't want anybody to say, "Oh, that's something that she just threw together." So as far as the presentation was concerned, that was very important to me. That it looked a certain way. Even like now with the black mat that you have, that's a newer version.
Yes.
I had to switch off from the glass vessels that I had, but the black it still spoke to the brand. Because it just represents that beautiful blackness. So everything that, as far as the business is concerned, it's all me. I branched out to some other products, like wellness products, but I make sure I vet everything. I use it before I even introduce it to my clients, my customers. And yeah, so I test everything out. I create all the fragrances. None of my scents are straight out of the bottle. I mean, everybody pretty much gets their fragrance oils from the same places if you're a small business. So if you're like someone large, like a Joe Malone or something like that, then you may have a fragrance company that will develop scents for you.
Right.
So for me, it was more so about making different blends that you won't recognize as from another small business, and just making it have a luxe, sophisticated appeal.
Yeah, we love it.
So what was the reason you the products are named after famous African Americans. What was the idea behind that?
It's just, again, the blackness. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm super black. Black Dot, you got me beat. But it's just honoring our ancestors. Well, because it started off with my grandmother, that first candle. So as I developed different fragrances, I said, well, I want to acknowledge and represent people who have made an impact in my life, people who have maybe have made an impact in your lives as well, trendsetters, and people that just stepped out and did their own thing. So anytime I'm developing a new fragrance, there is someone that I have in mind.
Right.
It may not necessarily tie directly into that person. If you smell the fragrance, you may not necessarily say, "Oh, that reminds me of that person." But I try to get close to it. Like my Billy candle has that gardenia. She was known for her signature gardenia, so it has some gardenia tones to it. My Marley candle has a little bit of leather, earthiness. Malcolm. Malcolm, I hope you enjoyed the linen.
Yeah, I still got it.
Sent that for you.
Yeah.
And so that has a little bit of fire, wood burning. So I try to relate the fragrance sense to the personalities.
So this is like some alchemy going on here. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
For me, I
yes.
think it's expression of greatness and just making sure that their legacies live. And it's just something about like when you're burning a candle and you see that glow, and then it's in the vessel with that name on it. It's just the spirit is there. And I have two candles actually, one for my maternal grandmother that raised me, that's Audrey, and then my paternal grandmother, Geneva. So they're in there as well.
And that you're also keeping them alive.
Exactly.
With that. So talk to me about some of the, not necessarily pitfalls, but some of the hurdles you had to overcome, because a lot of times you go on Instagram and everybody's glorifying business and this and that, and that's cool. What we try to do here is be as transparent as possible, because it ain't all gravy. There's some trials and tribulations you have to overcome, which helps you appreciate your business even more.
For sure. Most recently, with the pandemic, the supply chain has definitely impacted me as a small business.
Gotcha.
Like as far as like even just getting the vessels, getting the wax. There were delays. The prices had tripled. And so for me, I've always kind of struggled. I'll be honest with you. I've always struggled with pricing, right? So to have to absorb that cost would be a detriment to me as a business, but then also to pass that cost off to my customers made me very, very nervous.
Yes.
But I've had people reach out to me and say, you can charge a little bit more. Like people who buy from me consistently, they gave me that courage to say, okay, I can add a few extra dollars to it and they won't have an issue with paying that extra amount. Another hurdle has really, for me, has been visibility. So that's one reason why I appreciate you guys bringing the entrepreneurs onto the camera so people can see us, know that there's a story behind it, because sometimes people may like a product, but sometimes people support the person behind the product. I've learned that as well. And I've always played the back. I'm not like in the front person. I'm working on making myself the face of my brand. It's really always, for me, been standing behind the product, because the background that I have has been about, you have to have a good product.
Right.
Yeah, but in this day and time, we have to tell our story. So, we're glad we're adding this essence to it, because it's really about the story. And so we want to thank you for taking time, coming up on the camera. I know you was a little nervous and this and that. We appreciate you. And we will know we're going to advertise with you in the future. So we want our followers to go out and support these black businesses on a regular basis. Our information is down below. please link, because this is how we keep this thing going.
Thanks.
And we want to thank you again for joining us.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, peace.
Peace. We good?
All right. All right.
That was dope.
That was extremely dope.
Always.
And again, shame on us for not doing that earlier.
Yeah.
It just came to us that no, this is not just about, it is a little bit about sharing, the product, but seeing the people behind the story really makes a difference. And we want to inspire you for 2022. Stop sitting on that brilliant idea you got. You know it's brilliant. So let's get to work. We're here as a vessel for you. You know what I mean? So you can come and cross off your T's, dot your I's, and know now that not only when your product come out, we're gonna give you a platform, a few minutes to talk about your product and move from there.
Yeah, and we have like, especially for for Q2, we have a lot of free content, just helping, business entrepreneurs and business people, just, to kind of fine tune what they're already doing, to give them extra stuff to think about when it comes to running their business, which I'm super excited about, and which is also kind of me coming out of my comfort zone as well.
Absolutely.
Weirdly enough, because I was talking to my boy about this podcast, we've been doing this podcast almost 5 years now,
yes,
right? But it's always kind of been separate from like my personal accounts on social media and things like that, and to where I've always kind of been nervous that like my people that may know me may watch, you know what I'm saying? And people all the time, like I went to school, I went to high school, they watch or they listen to this podcast all the time. So,
and they go, I didn't even know you had that in you.
Yeah. So I'm just like, all right, so I got to just kind of step out there a little bit more.
Yes.
So that's me living my raps.
No, but we have seen it here on the show.
Yeah.
The people have seen you grow and come out. And back to the free ebook that we put together, 12 principles about family and business. Because again, you watch these Instagram people and they never talk about their family.
Yeah.
They never talk about the struggles they had to go through with their girl before they can run. So we want to make sure that we embedded the principles of doing both, because you don't want to have all the money in the world, but all the relationships around you have crumbled.
Right.
So it's family and business over everything. And that's going to be the motto we continue to live by. So I'm summoning you guys. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You got that idea. All you need to do is put it together. So put it together and then contact sales or info at sales.
What? To get the ebook?
No, not to get the ebook. So if you want to advertise.
Oh, sales at urbanx.nyc.
Yeah, the ebook is at urbanx.nyc. That's a free download.
Yeah, it's free download.
You just download that.
Yeah.
And with that being said,
you are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Yo, so I heard Antonio Brown he's looking to get back into the NFL, but he told teams that he's not getting ankle surgery until he's signed.
Who does he think he is?
I have no idea. Listen, I've been seeing lists talking about, is he a Hall of Famer? Is he a top 10 receiver of all time? These things, I'm like, you're bugging.
No, he's bugging.
He's bugging out. So I thought that was crazy. The Tampa Bay Bucks, their coach decided to stop coaching. He's going to be in the front office.
Yeah.
Right? And people were like, what's that about? I don't think him and Brady actually liked each other.
He never liked Brady.
Yeah.
Brady never liked him.
Yeah.
And when he got the Super Bowl with Brady, he was good.
Yeah.
Then when he heard Brady was coming back, he's out. And he waited. This is what he did, though. I do give him credit. He waited until the last moment to do it so that the black coach, Todd Bowles could get the job. So that was his way of playing chess.
Gotcha.
So they won't have time to look for another coach. You have to hire from within. Yeah. So I give him credit for that. But Tom Brady is not easy to deal with. Plus, I think Tom Brady is going to try to manufacture a deal to San Francisco anyway.
Really?
And he wants he's from San Francisco.
Right.
His childhood idol is Joe Montana.
Right.
I think that's where he wanted to go originally. And now that he's back, the writing is probably on the wall. This stuff smells
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
Sheesh, please get this Njudawn stuff.
So that's your sports take for the week.
Yeah, a little sports bite.
He runs a more important show.
But yeah, my most important flagship show
Yeah.
is called Disabled is Abled podcast with Eli and Freddie. We did an amazing show last night.
Yeah.
It'll be edited and chopped because we don't go live, you know what I'm saying? And that will be up, in a day or two.
Somebody said AB had the best 6-year stretch in NFL history. Only 6 years. I hate when people say that's all it was.
And then he started wilding.
Then he started bugging. Like, I don't care. Like, he wasn't. Listen, I don't care. It was only 6 years. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Jerry Rice had an entire career.
The sounds of Urban X.
So, the Ukraine Russia thing is still happening. The U.S. embassy they sent out a memo, advising Americans in Ukraine and Russia to leave immediately. There's reports that the Russians are actually losing. There's reports that this is funny. There's reports that Putin is getting misinformation on how well his army is doing, but we know the facts.
But we know the facts.
Yeah, I'm really just kind of all right, whatever. But I read this somewhere that the Russian ruble or ruble, whatever it's called, is 100% backed by gold now.
Now, if that's the case, then that changes everything.
That changes the game.
Yes,
because our money is based on debt. Everybody else's money is based on debt. Their money would be based on
actual money.
Right? So they also even said that now, and Putin, it was a report that Putin said that unfriendly countries, if you want to buy oil from us, you have to buy it in ruble.
Wow.
So stuff like that, that's what turns an economy around.
Yes.
If that's the case, right? And remember, Obama was here. He said that America found some gold somewhere, and that that might be the play for us as well to get us from under China as well. So it's
a lot of things going on.
It's a lot happening.
And again, for you guys who are very bright and advanced, it's never what they tell you it is. It is never what they tell you it is. I'm going to say that again. It is never what they tell you it is. It is always something else. And all you trying to do is piece a few things together so that you can follow the money and see where the money leads to. And then you go, okay, I get it. That's about that. That's about oil. That's about gold. Because it's always about God. Gold, oil, and dope. It's always in God we trust. That's what that shit means. Gold, oil, and dope in this paradigm here. So follow the money. Don't believe. I don't think I've watched CNN in 6 months.
Oh, yo, I told you about CNN Plus, right?
So they canceling that, yes?
No, they're not canceling, but they are CNN is folding, right? They staked a lot of their business, a lot of their future on their streaming site, CNN Plus. Their first day, they thought they would have way more subscribers. They had to cut their $5 price in half, or their $6 price in half. So now, if you join now, it'll be $2.99 a month for life. That's what you want, right? And it's because their programming sucks. They got Anderson Cooper talking about parenting. They got book clubs. They got Jamel Hill and Carrie Champion. It's just
nobody wants to see.
Nobody wants to see that, right? And I was saying this too, and this is what I said about the Black News Channel, Black News Channel. If Trump was still in office, they'd be in a great position.
Oh no, absolutely.
That stuff about Cuomo wouldn't have came out, Zucker wouldn't have came out, because they would have just been in the forefront of all the stuff, because all you have to do is point to Trump. But the fact that identity politics has played a role in how news is covered, how everybody just leans one way. If Biden is ruining the country, you got to report that now.
Yes,
if gas is high, if supposedly there's about to be a food shortage, and they keep blaming it on the win in Ukraine and Russia. I didn't know we got food from Ukraine and Russia.
Neither did I. I did the inventory. I'm like, we didn't get no food from there. So how now? But they will show you ways that it's a trickle down effect with countries who give us wheat and this and that. It's all bullshit.
All bull. We talked on here how the price for gas was going up way before Putin even did anything in Ukraine.
Yes.
Right? It was because they stopped drilling, because they knew that they would drive up the prices, because they lost a lot of money during the pandemic.
And they need to get that money back.
And they need to get the money back.
That's get your money 101. When I come out of a drought, them bags of weed is instead of $10, they $20.
Yep, and then somebody said in the chat just now, did y'all hear Biden say New World Order? Yes, I heard this other woman in the world that convention that they do yearly. She said something about the New World Order. First 30 seconds of her speech. Mm-hmm. So everything that's been called conspiracy theory, everything, Hotep, all that stuff. Somebody said it should be called a spoiler alert because that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening. Today I saw Biden on the CNN network. I did see it. I was in a restaurant. Shout out to Odyssey, just having a little lunch with baby girl. Sure. And something about they're releasing their reserves of oil. Is that to drive the price back down?
That's to drive the price back
and
down.
Make him look like a hero?
Yeah, until the midterms.
Okay, until the midterms. Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
But then when you do that, you go into the stash. What happens when we need the stash?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When we actually need it. So, I don't know, man.
That's something to think about.
He got his second booster on camera.
I did see that. In the midst of all of this other Pfizer talk.
Yeah. Somebody posted up an old clip of Fauci discussing, what happens if, do you need the flu vaccine if you've already gotten the flu? He said, if you've already gotten the flu, that's the best vaccine there is. Basically,
he did
natural immunity.
Listen, there
was no money to be made back then.
You know? Right. Here's the thing. This generation has receipts. When we had to decode things, what's the brother's name on Facebook? We're going to bring him on the show.
Yeah, we have to. Because he was going.
His breakdown of the Will Smith and Chris Rock stuff with the geometria involved is superb. His work has always been superb, and he bigs us up.
Ani Asuru?
Yeah, Ani Asuru.
Yes.
Shout him out because he watches the show.
Yes.
We didn't have the resources they have to connect all the dots they do. They got receipts, these new decoders. In this day and time, when we had to speculate and try to get you to see a picture, just that was in our mind with some transparencies. All right now, and this transparency, when put that down. And they have the internet at their disposal, and they can tie in things that you actually said.
Yeah.
Not, did he? No, he said that.
Yeah.
It's like Minority Report. They can do this. And so I want to shout all of the new decoders because they're next level with this now.
Listen, I'm going to see, because I don't know if he has a YouTube channel. I know he has a Patreon. So let me see if I can get it for you guys.
Yeah.
Because he broke down this Will Smith and Chris Rock stuff. I was just like...
Yeah. So I'm going to bring him on. We'll probably bring him on the after show because we can really let him go loose. But we will bring the guard on.
Let me see if I can get his Patreon.
And because he be dropping it. And, stuff like that. So shout out these new decoders who be going in.
Yeah. Let's take a quick commercial break. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got his Patreon right here. Got his Patreon right here for you guys. And I'll put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
Right now.
Put it in the chat.
And then we'll go to commercial break. So it's in the chat. Ani, hold on. I think it's this.
Yep.
Yes. Wait, hold on.
Asaru.
And there you go. I spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But yeah, we're about to go. Let's go to commercial break and then we'll be back.
And then we'll fix it up for you.
Yeah.
So, you want to know what we do and how we do it. Well, we got a step-by-step booklet for you to get to keep your game on track.
Yes, so we are introducing the family business course, right? Where we're teaching 4 different components on running an online family business. That's podcasting, YouTube, self-publishing, and t-shirt printing.
And
right?
we also have a bonus course.
We do. We also have a bonus course teaching how to build your own membership.
Yes.
And how we were able to build our own as well. Step by step, line by line. We teach you even how to make the actual software for the membership. We teach you how to do all of that stuff.
Crazy.
Right? And an extra bonus is I threw in the ebook to Urban Excellence along with the video interviews. Never before seen the footage.
Drop the mic.
Never before seen footage. And the reason why I did that is because I want to show families the 11 stories of people who also created their own businesses as well. who also overcame trials and tribulations
Yes.
as well. And I think it's all relevant to, you know, building your family business. So that's what we want you to go get.
We have a free ebook. It's absolutely free. And we have free online training, a free mini course to get you started.
Yes.
We recommend that you download, hit the link below, get the free ebook.
Yes.
Take the free training, and then take that leap. And we're going to be here every step of the way.
Yes. So hit the link below and visit www.urbanx.nyc/family, or just hit the link below.
Peace.
Peace.
What makes a great t-shirt? Is it fashion, fit, comfort? Is it what's printed on the front of the shirt? Whether it's a humorous message, political, or a social statement made to bring awareness to a noble cause? At Urban X TV, we believe that all of those things make a great t-shirt and then some. So we wanted to create a t-shirt line that was a little bolder, a little bit more challenging, one that stepped out of the boundaries. So we decided to introduce to you our Not So Subtleties. It's one that speaks to the sentiments of what's going on in our environment today. It's one that will spark conversation. So log on to urbanx.nyc to pick up your Not So Subtleties today, or shop urbanx.com to pick up the latest in urban apparel. We thank you for your support. Peace.
And we're back.
And we are back.
Yes. Don't forget, if you want the free ebook and free training, you can go to www.urbanx.nyc/family.
Yes, it's there for you.
Heard? All right. And the link is in the description below if you need that as well.
Yes.
Right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So Ashanti, shouts out to her, she becomes the first black female artist to co-found a Web 3.0 company.
Clap that up. Ashanti making moves.
Yes. The company is called EQ Exchange, and it's a music NFT company.
Oh, that's dope.
Yes, so she's the first female black artist to co-found a company, because, you know, there's a lot that's going on with NFTs and art and things like that, especially with music. She was, I don't know if you guys remember, she was going through a lot of legal battles.
Right, with a album, trying to get the remastered or masters from it. Yeah.
So, you know, NFTs is a different way of owning your music or owning your art. So this company, EQ Exchange, you can look it up. I'll put the, you know, link in description. It's a marketplace for music NFTs.
Nice.
So, you know, artists to get paid directly and stuff like that. So that's really, really dope on her part.
And let me say something about
see
Ashanti.
the value in that.
She has kept herself together.
Oh yeah, facts.
Not only does she look amazing, you know what I mean? She looks fucking amazing. You can tell her energy is, you know, she has kept herself together. She's also getting a star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Hollywood Walk of Fame on April 7th. I think that's next Thursday or Friday. So things are looking up for Ashanti.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And for her to transition into ways to continue to, and she's a dope writer.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is listen to Jennifer Lopez albums. They were all Ashanti.
And
allegedly.
And her vocals.
Allegedly.
No, it's not alleged.
Allegedly.
Not allegedly. It's not
alleged.
Allegedly.
Not allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know. But
Not
you
alleged.
know,
that is fact. And some of the background vocals
Me
as
and
well.
wifey was listening to a song today of Jennifer Lopez, and I said, "Go ahead, Ashanti.
Yeah.
Sing that song."
Yeah.
My wife bust out laughing. But it is what it is. So shout out to Ashanti and the great work she's continuing to do, because as an artist, you got to reinvent yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to move with the times. Like this whole social media thing, I don't need to tell you, this is all new to me, man. That's why I was the last one to get involved. When Shanell and Brother Rich and all of them had their channels, I was the last one, because I'm stuck in my old ways, my Virgo ways. But I can't, I got to be swift and changeable. And Virgo being a mutable sign, we're not necessarily fixed on things. So, and same thing with Nina,
Yes.
She's got to reinvent herself and come out and maybe get an Instagram going and things she normally wouldn't do,
right?
And tell the story behind Njudawn, because people buy the story. The candle is great once you get it and smell it and that stuff,
right?
But a lot of times people want to know your story, and as a result of that, you know, they get behind you. So we got to do different things. So to see Ashanti doing some different things, I like it.
Yes, super dope. Congrats.
Super dope. Congrats.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So apparently the FBI, now like the Justice Department, they might start putting a lot of pressure on the Biden administration, Joe Biden himself, as a result of Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yeah,
because they are authenticating a lot of those emails.
And something about China I saw recently.
He got money from China. He got money
$4 million or something.
He got money from this the richest woman in Moscow, Russia. They sent him money. And he was making money from Ukraine. All the 3 players that's in.
Isn't that something?
That's so crazy, right?
But you got to understand, Malcolm. If you know I'm gonna become the president, because it's all fixed, right? You know your dad has become the president. You have a drug problem,
right?
You Pookie, you got a serious drug problem. You are in a position to take advantage of those things.
Yeah.
Now you going around the country on behalf of me. Half the shit I don't even know you did.
Yeah.
But you my son. I'm like, yeah, right off on it. And you getting money from these people. No, because he going to be the president. Because people want favor.
Yeah.
And that's how you get favor in America. That's why black people can't get nothing done, because we ain't putting checks down in people's hand going, yo, make sure that bill pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we good.
Yeah.
We keep, we marching and we shall overcome. And they go on, dude, you ain't gonna overcome nothing without putting some money in my hand.
Yeah.
And so once we understand that in its truest essence, we'll begin. That's why the Chinese come over. They come over here with bread, bro.
Yeah.
They don't have no problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
None.
Yeah.
Everybody coming over with bread. Except, us and the Mexicans. But they coming over here with oranges and Guadalupes and.
All right, so yeah, just Hunter Biden. So people are saying that he might get indicted.
People like to eat,
and if that happens, the joke is over.
No, it's not a joke. I'm stuck now. What are those green things everybody like that they bring over here?
I don't know. Yes, yeah.
No, it's in Chipotle. It's.
You talking about guacamole?
Guacamole. The Mexicans are the champions of guacamole. Just saying. Yeah. Okay. All right. That might have been.
Did you said Guadalupe? You meant guacamole?
Sorry. I did say Guadalupe. I meant guacamole.
You meant avocado. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, y'all, man. He was talking about avocados, but guacamole comes from. I know what he meant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
You're listening to
Somebody said I'm offended. You should be.
Urban X.
You should be offended. But that has issues. But yeah, so he might get indicted, and who knows what that'll do. Because I remember when this stuff first came out, and Malcolm Hill, who was on the Black News Channel, he ran through so many hoops to act like this wasn't a big deal. He was like, that's Hunter Biden, that's not his dad. Meanwhile, we spent the whole 4 years of Trump being in office, his kids, even the little son, everybody was under trial because if one of them did something wrong, everybody did something wrong.
No, absolutely.
And the hypocrisy is actually.
Listen, there is no democracy in this country, bro.
Yes, it's crazy.
This whole thing is a shit show.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? So and so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Did they ever find Hillary Clinton's laptop?
No.
Oh.
Or 3,000 emails that just got, just wiped off her computer, yeah.
And I heard the /gate, I can't say the word, the Domino's gate, that took place. The judge who dismissed it is the black lady.
Oh, yeah, yes, I heard that as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
the one who's trying to run for
Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, she's the one who dismissed Domino Gate.
Ketanji Jackson Brown.
Yeah. She was
Brown
like,
Jackson.
and it makes sense because she let that dude off.
Yes.
So she
let a lot of dudes off.
She's soft on pedophiles. So when that case came through, the biggest scandal going of them using code words and pepperoni and this and that.
Brown Jackson, KBJ.
Yeah. I heard, now just a rumor, because Black Dot is a lot of fake news with me. I heard that she was the one who knocked that down. Yeah,
that's
that out of here.
interesting. Yo, I remember the first time, one of the first times, I really started to question the news. I've always questioned news because you're my dad, right?
Yeah.
I've gone to lectures when I was little, but the one time, it was really blatant to me, I think was that, the Domino's stuff, right? I'm gonna tell you what. Chris Cuomo was on the news, right? He was saying, these emails are leaked. Don't read them. We'll read them to you because it's our job to tell you the news, not your job to decipher it.
Yes, he said that.
I said, whoa.
He said that. He sure did.
I was just like, no way, not blatantly. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember, I used to go to you guys' lectures and y'all used to catch stuff, real just subtle stuff, but that was the most blatant. I was like, whoa, time out.
Yes.
Time out. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
So yeah, pay attention to that. There was also something else with her. Oh, and also somebody peep a sincere love to God, right?
Sincere love to God. Shout out to the God.
On his Instagram, he posted up a story. I had to look it up myself. He posted up a story that Biden was actually the first one to block the nomination for the first black Supreme Court justice.
I saw that.
I forget what year that was.
See, this is what we mean by receipts.
Yeah, he blocked that.
Yes.
She was a Republican nominee, and he literally said, I'm going to block this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So all of this history making that he's claimed he's doing and stuff like that, all farce.
Yes. Shout out sincere to God.
Because, yeah.
Yep.
You're listening to the sounds of Urban X.
So did you guys hear about the data breach from Apple and Meta?
I did.
Yes, they gave up user data to hackers who...
Third party
who were pretending to be law enforcement.
Yes.
I don't know how both of these major companies got fooled. Yes. These hackers must have been
sophisticated.
Super sophisticated.
Highly sophisticated.
Could be Russian.
And they're going to be checks that's going to be cut now.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you probably get about $9. But time it's a class action lawsuit, so it's it's millions of people involved because they could have been Russian. You know what I mean? So I did hear about that.
So apparently they said they can't even say it's right. Oh, they could probably blame the Russian, but apparently the slip up happened mid 2021. So and they said both companies were falling for phony requests providing information about users' IP addresses, phone numbers, and home addresses. All of that.
Guys. All of this social media stuff is about gathering your information. So we live in a world now where there are no more secrets, and your whole life is an algorithm. Your entire life is an algorithm. The shows you watch, the YouTube channels you subscribe to, the stuff you buy, all of these things create a data profile on who you are. So there's no way around it. Mm. Unless you totally off the grid. Go see Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Hugh Jackman. The old guy. I forget his name. Right? You have to be totally off the grid, and none of us are. Right? So therefore, while they entice you with the opportunity to make a few dollars, get your profile out there, show what you had for lunch, all that old kind of crazy shit. Your data is what it's all about, because if Gene Hackman, they're able to create an algorithm profile on you is better than anything the police can do in terms of profiling. Mm-hmm. They can probably tell if you're a pedophile, and you have nothing about pedophiles on your timeline just by your movements, just by the stuff you like, the stuff you try to avoid. The things you buy. So the gig is up. Alice, Alicia, and Dre Smith, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So I'm not saying don't fight it. I'm just simply saying know and understand that's the world we live in.
Right.
So when they want to come get you on some social credit and shit, later on because you've done. We gotta ride this till the wheels fall off. Guys, you know what? Just everybody send us $1,000 right now, just because, man, because you don't know how long we're gonna be here. Take your refunds, just send it to us, and because they could shut us down and they didn't give them home.
Yeah. In other news, Joe Biden signed the Emmett Till Act,
The
anti-lynching.
I'm not even gonna clap that up.
Yeah, it's 2022.
This is 2022.
Yeah.
And we're just that's a feel good moment for Biden to act like he's done something amazing.
Yeah.
Why was that bill still in place? Because to me, humbly speaking, that was the last bit of that era of full control for them. So knowing that the bill was still intact just probably gave them a little psychological, because it has no bearing on today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, there are still people who've been
but
lynched, or
it should automatically be a crime.
Right.
Why does a bill needs to be? You can shoot somebody.
Yeah.
You can't lynch them, dude. This is strictly, coming into the primaries. This whole piece,
the midterms,
midterms and stuff, has nothing to do with anything that we should be happy about. Point blank.
Yeah, he's gonna ride that one to the midterms as well.
Yes.
That's what you gotta, and you have to just kind of pay attention to a lot of the political moves that are being made right now. It's just setting themselves up for the elections.
Yes.
They do not care about what happens before, like really after that. It's just kind of setting themselves up for points, even though it looks like it's still gonna be a landslide.
And then they're gonna move on to the next agenda.
And I want people to understand this as well. The conversations that are happening online is not real life, right? Even though the conversations that are happening online, they do affect real life, but it's not real life meaning. All of the kid trans stuff and things like that, majority of Americans don't want this, right? You can see it in every time they try to make a movie, like they kind of try to force a trans or a gay like a gay character in something. People don't respond.
People reject it.
Comic book, the entire comic book industry is losing because they keep making characters that they love gay out of nowhere,
and they keep rejecting,
or they keep making historically white characters black, and even black people who like comics. I don't want this. I want what I want.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So movies are taking a toll, getting hit. Every real form of entertainment, and Democrats, people you think are smart, that quote unquote run the country, people you think are smart are actually really not. Right? They don't see the writing on the wall, and they don't see why they keep losing.
Not bound to that. They dumb.
I'm telling you, all of this, and the way that they've co-opted the word woke is so annoying.
Yeah, shout out Renee Kendrick and the Brian Prevost. I thank you for the Cash App. Appreciate the support.
Oh, DeBron, yes, you too. Thank you. The way they like describe what woke is and stuff like that. Like right now, they're saying Disney is going woke, even though depending on, remember what I just said about Disney, what they're trying to do, that's woke.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
Who created the term woke?
Black people.
Thank you. So we created the term. It had no value at first until we gave it value and a vibration. Now they can use it to commercialize and sell you some shit that you created that you are now familiar with. See how that shit works?
Yeah.
It becomes a reflection of your thoughts given back to you. This whole realm is nothing but shit you creating that they package in and give it back to you, and you buy into it and consume the shit that you created.
Exactly.
That's all it is. That's what it is. That's the hustle.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. Somebody said, I heard that next Spider-Man movie will have a trend. I don't know. I ain't hear about that.
I'm not even going to entertain half that shit.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that stuff.
I'm old school. I told you, do what you do in your personal life. I have no problems with you, and I understand that the world, if we're going to accept movies from Hollywood and 90%, let me give Leslie a play.
Allegedly.
Is those who partake in that lifestyle, they are in the driver's seat. So when people say, why do we care what people at the Oscars think? Why did we get dressed up and go? Obviously, those who got dressed up to go care. Those who go to the Grammys, they care what white people think, or else they wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Like if I get nominated for an Oscar and I don't go, I don't give a shit. But if you see me there with my suit on, me and Malcolm was there, cameras on us and shit, all of a sudden now I give a shit.
Yeah.
Let's just stop acting like it ain't what it is. You sitting at home may not care. So you superimposing on projecting how you would go about it, but Denzel is there. Fishburne is there. Smith is there. They all there.
Tyler Perry,
everybody is there. So you think that they, rebels and they give a shit. And that is a white person's house. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And when you go into anybody's house, if I tell you to take your shoes off at the door, you take your shoes off. Except if you Rick James. We already know what that's about. So when you in somebody's house, you play by their rules. America is our house that they confused us to think is their house, and now we are subjected to all the bullshit that goes on in our own house.
Yeah.
Squatters. Motherfucking squatters. Fucking squatters took over the house and putting you out. Man, what kind of shit is this?
Yeah.
That's what Europeans are. They are not from this land. They have no historical presence here in any capacity, but they have conquered being the operative word. And now they telling you what to do and take your shoes off and do this and that. Please get these trollers out of here. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think we performed. Can we get some likes?
Yes, please. Thank you. Because I saw Flatbush, forget his name. He was like, it's only good to ask for likes at the end of the show.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, so now we've earned a like or two.
I think so.
We hope. So if you can hit us with a like or two, because it has a lot to do with this game we're playing, right? Let's be clear. This is a game, an algorithm game we're all playing, and we want to be able to participate to the best of our ability.
Thanks.
And, so it's important.
Yes, I heard about that, but I'm not talking about it anymore.
What's that? Oh, no, we're not talking about any of that stuff.
Anymore.
Oh, no, we're not talking about that. I see you. Nope, because my chatter go crazy.
Yeah,
we're not doing all that.
People's brains turn into mush.
Listen, linear minds can only think in straight lines.
Yeah, and I'm good. Dope, super dope, but no.
That's a bar. Yeah. Linear minds can only think in straight lines.
That's a bar. I like
That's a bar. So a lot of times, people they just can't.
Yeah,
they don't have the ability to process anything outside of the straight line, and it's a straight argument. We're done. Yeah, we're good. We're good with that.
Let's start taking some questions though.
Yeah, we could do that.
I didn't watch Moon Knight. Did it even drop yet?
Moon Knight?
Yes, it's another comic, like another.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sounds like nerd talk.
Yeah, it is.
Urban X should have had asked for likes if you rock with the show. Yeah, but you know what? People get in their habits, and we just, people rock with us, and we appreciate it, man. Y'all heard the Coast Contra, Razzcast, Twin Son are part of a 4-man group.
No,
I didn't hear. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Somebody in the chat earlier mentioned that, so I'd like to check. Does Big U have Nipsey's masters? I don't know.
Because I heard he was still signed to him for another album, I think.
Oh, okay. So I'm not.
I think that's sure. That's what Big U said on, I think, Drink Champs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The longer he holds them, the greater the value, and that's the way that goes.
Don't know. You listen to the
Flatbush
B.I.G.
said we earned his like for that. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
I listened to the what?
To the dossier, the B.I.G. dossier.
Yeah. I don't know if they continued. I listened to about 12, 13 parts. It was very intriguing stuff, man. Very intriguing stuff. So I don't know if they continued, or I don't know if they are now moving to the next phase of that. But a lot of things are going to come out about a lot of people, bro. Yeah. There are a lot of people in the mix with these boys that you have no idea that were given carte blanche over, our music industry to do what they wanted. But a lot of them are agents.
Yeah, you know what's crazy?
A lot of them.
There's a lot of people there's a lot of just big stories that are like dropping, And they're not getting a lot of like fanfare about him. Like just stuff that we've always heard. And it's like, oh snap, that was true. But like, you know, there hasn't been much fanfare about him.
The Lupe album was called I forget, but they said it was coming out. Last I heard.
I don't know about Lupe anymore.
I think your man J. Cole dropped a mixtape tonight.
He's dropping a mixtape. Yeah, I think the Gangsta Grill's
2 or something.
That's tough.
That's tough. We're still waiting on Kendrick, you know, among other things.
Yeah, somebody said that his 5-year hiatus killed his career. What do you think?
Who?
Kendrick's. That's a long time.
It's a long time, but if he delivers...
I don't know,
dude.
I'm nervous.
I'm not nervous for him. He's a superb artist.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think he cares about the fanfare as much. That he wants to make great music. So if he delivers, because he ain't missed yet. If he delivers, now if he come out, we go, we waited 5 years for that.
Yeah.
So like when Jay Electronica dropped, we was like, but he is a superb.
Like you put the pressure on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's what the same thing with Lauryn Hill. Like you,
my man, called me the Jay Electronica book writing. Said, nigga, you ain't wrote that book. You supposed to be writing in 10 years, nigga. And I had to laugh. My man, Knowledge Born. That's true shit.
What do you think about Bruce Willis? He has that brain.
Shout out Bruce Willis. I love his movies. Grew up on a lot of his movies. But he has some kind of brain
condition
now where he's losing his functionality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said like when he was on the movie set, he had to get his lines fed to him from an earpiece.
Oh,
and
wow.
One time he let like a prop gun off way early.
Oh man. And those were the signs that something is
wrong.
Something is wrong. So Die Hard, best Christmas movie ever. Yippee-ki-yay, mother, you right.
IG Live Lupe said Sophia Stewart isn't responsible for. Yeah, listen. I used to really.
He says some really bizarre stuff.
I used to really enjoy Lupe until I'm not. I'll be honest with you. Until the Jab came out.
Yeah.
Then he started just showing like his true like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He said, you can't come to my concert unless you got it. And it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Slow your roll, G.
Yeah, look at that. Bruce Willis, Will Smith, G.I. Jane, Demi Moore. See, this is what I mean by, and that may not even be a conspiracy. That may just be synchronicity of some things that, you know, all line up. But linear minds only think in straight lines. So that just went over 85% of people's head.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I thought of it.
Yeah. It was clever.
I was taking a shit. I was like, you know what? Linear minds.
It's clever.
Straight lines. Yeah.
Somebody said COVID took 2 years from us. Or you could think like that. Or not. A lot of stuff happened with me in 2 years.
It was a reset.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
It's
happened.
really all about perspective. A lot of people reset, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it gave us a chance to still ourselves. Sometimes stilling ourselves is what we need so we can recalibrate our focus. So within that time, externally things was happening, but the reset that came out of that, there are people who got really rich out of that. And I'm not talking about just the big wigs. A lot of people needed that reset to stay home, to strategize their plan, and then they came out launching. So it's really a matter of perspective, because time, you know, is like an illusion, you know. It's there, but it's on the linear line of things.
Somebody asks, good question, how do you move from a scarcity mindset to an abundant one?
That's going to take a while, because you just have to think in abundance. And thinking in abundance is hard, because you could be with people and they give you $20 and you could tell they don't want to let the $20 go because they don't know where the next 20 is coming from. That's currency. That's electricity that has to move. And then there are people, like I'm an abundant thinker. And I can give you my last, and the universe finds a way to give it back to me. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of cases. So you just got to kind of think that more is going to come to you, because the universe doesn't know time and space. So if you think you're rich and you talk the presently, I got this, you'll never need anything in the world. I don't need anything in the world, kid.
Yeah, and then you have to like just kind of change your environment too. Now it doesn't have. I'm not talking about move or something like that. But if what you're watching, what you listen to is about scarcity and
Yes.
stuff like that, you got to change it somehow.
And your team. If your team is about scarcity.
That's true. Like I started listening to audiobooks.
Yes.
Fire.
Yes.
Right? Just to keep me in a different zone. Stuff I watched, if it was negative, I just kind of stopped watching that. If I felt like, you know, listening to rap all day just had me in a different zone.
See, the rappers don't think in scarcity.
Yeah.
They just keep it a bean with you. That's why they got wads of cash. You may not agree with the content that they bringing out, but that is called moralism. You know, that shit you talking is moralism. What's right and what's wrong. Does the universe see what they're doing as right or wrong? Or does the universe even give a shit? The universe is like, I'm here to provide what you asked for. So they asking for bad mommies, wads of cash, G5 jets. That's what they're asking for. And the universe is saying, bet, it's yours.
Yeah.
And you're asking to get an extra week at your job. You asking for your supervisor to lay off your case a little bit. You asking for them to, you know what I mean?
Oh, pro tip. Also, create a vision board, right? And if you don't want to take up too much space, create it on Canva, put it on your phone screensaver.
Yes.
You see your phone all the time. You open your phone all the time.
That's a beautiful hack.
And you just see all the time what you want. That's a pro hack for you.
That's a pro hack for you. So that's why the rappers, and we get jealous, but that's why they have. And then I told you the hack, what that is, once you participate in their dream. You know what I mean? They start living and you got to start going, yo, they getting it.
Yeah.
And you start vicariously, you accelerate their process. Yeah. And then you keep going, damn, I got to keep going to work, but they keep flashing cash. That's the secret to that shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I wish they would lower my rent. You know, all that scarcity shit. And they like, man, I'm living high on the hog.
Yeah.
I got elevators in my crib.
And it's not easy. I
got an alligator.
You got to check yourself. I've checked myself mad times. Like, during the day, like I would say something like, you know, a moment of doubt, and then you just gotta kind of
gotta check it,
shake it off, check it yourself.
And the sooner you start recognizing what's coming out of your mouth, because the only person that's with you all the time is you. Right? You're the architect of your universe. Don't let them tell you anything different. So you're the one who are creating. If you keep going to work, I told y'all this, you keep going to work the same way. You keep getting the same coffee at Dunkin' Donut. You keep doing this, that. You're creating a pattern.
Yeah.
Let's Aries Nation. I turned 57.
Regina Harris.
All right, that's what we're talking about.
Hey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday! So you're creating these patterns. These patterns become your reality. And if you never change the patterns become even more fixed. You got to write new programs, go to work a different route, see different people, stop by Guadalupe, get you an avocado. You know what I mean? You got to change this shit up. And you have to change it up because what you're after is a new experience, right? So that the new experience sends off different neurons in your brain so that you may know that the possibilities are greater than you allowing yourself to think. Because you get people who just think negative. They got a problem for every solution. They just can't move themselves to a higher vibration. They just have to see the negativity. And those people are always miserable. You see them people, they're always miserable. You trying to do something positive, they just don't have it. What happened now?
What are you talking about, Baby Chief?
What happened with Baby Chief?
He said, hold, what in the blue hell are you guys on now? This is a duplicate of the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club has a rainbow in the background. Now you have, what are you talking about? Yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. Cease in the City. Okay. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
And thank you guys for being here with us tonight.
We appreciate you, man.
We appreciate you.
All the support that we get.
Yes.
And, it is what it is.
With that being said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
All right. Don't forget to download the free ebook.
Yes.
Don't forget to visit shopurbanx.com.
Yes.
Get some of this merch. Not that this is the OG. This is actually, we were talking about where we came from. This is actually the first shirt we actually had for sale.
Yeah,
we only had like a little bit
like
amount
20 of them.
That was it. This is the first one we actually got made,
and we didn't even have the equipment. We had to outsource.
We had to outsource this. Yes, the first one we had.
We had to outsource that,
and I still got it.
Yeah, if you have one, send me a picture of it. I might send you something free just because.
Just because you got it.
Because we only had 20. That's an exclusive.
Yeah.
Take a picture of that and be like, yo, I got one, because we had to outsource it. A whole nother story. But thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. We love you guys, and we will see you guys on Monday. Peace.
Yep.